All right, Mount Rudmore here, and I am back to talk about BB24. It is the night before the finale. I mean, technically, it's the day of the finale here on the East Coast, because it's 12:04 a.m., but it's still going to be the next day for them in the house over in California. But yes, we are here. We have made it to the end. There is currently only 3 people left in the house, but the last time I streamed, there were 4. So we're gonna catch up just a little bit. Uh, First of all, hey, Scarlet Rain 88, thank you for being here. First thing I want to talk about, of course, is Monty continuing to lecture Taylor. Like, he's just, like, telling her that she says things that make him uncomfortable. He forces her to apologize. She does, and yet he just keeps going, keeps telling her what's wrong with her, everything she did wrong. And he even goes as far as to say, maybe there was a reason you were treated the way you were in the beginning. And I'm just like, seriously? Come on, dude. And like they showed this on Thursday's episode about him saying this stuff right to her face. And it's just like, I don't know how you can watch that and still have any sort of respect for this man. I mean, Monty did a good job convincing me that he did change from how he was in the beginning. But now he's actually probably worse than he was in the beginning. But I'm not falling for it again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm never trusting Monty again. And I can't wait to to block him immediately on social media. On Twitter, I mean. The only 2 people from this season I have found on Twitter are um, Pooch and Smelvis, and they they're both blocked. I mean, those are the only 2 I found that I have blocked. I have also found Taylor, and I follow her. I've also found Michael and Joseph. I haven't followed them yet, but I haven't blocked them either. But yeah, Monty's just, this man is not someone who should be around women. Um, Brittany makes a pretty good pitch to Monty, saying like, me and Turner are kind of similar mentally, but Turner is more of a physical threat than me. So do you really want to be up against a physical threat? Like, she made some good points. It was a good pitch. But Monty didn't listen to a word of it because she's a woman. He doesn't trust women at all. He doesn't listen to a word of what she says, and then he goes to Turner and basically mocks her for even trying. Like, of course she's gonna try. She's gonna try to stay in the game. Why wouldn't she? And then from here, they go into talking about how great Paloma was. And I'm just like, Paloma is not even eligible to win America's favorite. Like, she wasn't going to win anyway. But they're doing everything to just ignore her. Like the recap episode, she did not get mentioned once. Why does everyone in this house insist on talking about her? I don't get it. But they're just talking about her. Oh, Paloma was so great, and it's like, of course they liked Paloma. She was oozing with insecurity, so she was never actually going to be able to challenge them. Taylor, on the other hand, oozed confidence. and that threatened them. Well, threatened Monty at least. Turner, I felt like he was kind of indifferent to both of them at first. But yeah, Taylor came in with confidence and threatened everybody, basically. Like, there were some people that weren't as bad as others, but those first few weeks, everyone got their shots in at Taylor. I'm so annoyed at Monty. I actually liked him once as well. Yeah, yeah. I really thought he changed. I, no, I just stop talking about Paloma, honestly. No one cares. The fact that Paloma has been more revered by people still in this game than other people in the past who went out fairly early but were actually decent people. Like Kemi, BB21, everyone on the outside loved her. Everyone thought she got a really bad deal in the game because she did. And after she left, they just continued talking smack about her. And I was like, do any of you actually think this is a good look? And then with Paloma, it's like, you actually think it's a good look to just constantly gush over her while you have done so much work putting down Taylor? How's that fair? I just don't understand why Paloma was liked by these people. She was so despised by people watching. How were people in there with her, listening to her, and were actually able to tolerate her presence? That's what I don't understand. So, anyway, Brittany's later talking to Taylor, and she's just tearing into Monty. And it was pretty enjoyable. I won't lie about that. She's like, him taking me out is a non-move, basically. She swears that once she's in jury, because at this point she's basically resigned herself to it, like, yeah, I'm going to jury, I know. Saying she's going to rally the girls in there. And Taylor's pretty confident that Michael would be five, and that's all she needs, 5 out of 9 to win. And both Brittany and Taylor agree that Taylor needs to bring Monty to the end and cut Turner. But Taylor has to bring Monty, not Monty brings Taylor. Taylor bringing Monty and cutting Turner, they think is her best bet of winning. And Brittany says, I don't owe Monty my vote for taking away my dream to play Big Brother, taking away my ability to start a family. And, it's like, you can't even say this is dirty gameplay at this point because everything Monty says is dirty. He hasn't really shown Brittany even the mildest level of respect. So yeah, why should she vote for him? Why should she? And the whole headphone incident that started this train of Monty berating Taylor. She's like Monty was saying, "Oh, like I just had to, I just had to say something about this." And Brittany's like, "You think you're courageous for this? You're not." And she's right about that. He's actually a real B about it. And she thinks he's trying to take credit for other people's moves. Like she kind of credits Turner more for Michael's eviction. There is a very big bug crawling on the thing my laptop is set up on. Okay, that was interesting. But yeah, it's like she kind of feels Turner should get most of the credit for taking on Michael, but Monty's trying to take all the credits. And she knows that people think she was carried by Michael to the end. But she's like, you know what, Monty? I feel like you were carried as well. And she's not wrong. Just all of this, making so many good points that are falling on deaf and sexist ears. And it was here that I decided I liked Brittany again. You know, she had a bad week before trying to take Taylor out. Not gonna lie. But it was here that I decided to forgive her and trust in the fact that Brittany's gonna be in the jury house doing her best to campaign for Taylor to win. Milk, in case you were wondering. Wow, Monty really is a snake at this point, isn't he? Oh, he's a, he's a python. That was just the first big snake I could think of. Why didn't I say Anaconda? That was like one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. It really got me into creature features. Well, no, Jaws did, but yeah, Anaconda was like the first PG-13 one I was allowed to watch. Yeah, I agree. I think the leftovers carried him for most of the season. Yeah, you know, I mean, Monty only has two HOHs at this point and two vetoes, but still, he has the same number of HOHs as Taylor, who a lot of people are saying doesn't deserve to win because she hasn't really done as much. But we'll get to that later on. I barely checked updates for days because it was just like nothing out of the ordinary was happening. Just getting really slow in there, and it was like we know Monty's gonna vote Brittany out. Like we're not stupid. He's not budging. He will never budge because he hates women. Yes, it is true that Brittany and Taylor would have taken each other to the end. So like, if that were Monty's only reason for taking out Brittany, I would respect it. But it's not because of the other things he says. Brittany is talking to Taylor, and she's like, "Taylor, I want you to win so badly." Like that's basically what she's saying. I'm just sort of paraphrasing. And Brittany Met's like, you're probably gonna see some things I said about you, and like, there's probably some conversations we're gonna need to have. And I think they will have them. And just Taylor's a very forgiving person, and Brittany is a very apologetic person, just in general. So I really do think they're going to be friends after this, and I think if Taylor's in the final two, I think Brittany will vote for her. But Brittany just says, "All you got to do, get to the end, and I will pay you back with a jury vote." And it's at this point that Brittany finally admits that she was the one vote to evict Taylor. Taylor's not even mad. She's just like, "Ha! I knew it." She does like a happy "I was right" dance. See, that's something about Taylor. She's so forgiving. She actually seemed to like understand it as a game move, and I'm like, all right, well, good for you, Taylor, because those of us watching don't. But you do you. Yes, I'm also glad she admitted it to Taylor. But she does say that part of the reason she did it was to try and blindside Turner, which didn't really happen because Turner knew she was gonna do it, and Turner was like already Like as soon as it happened, Turner was hard at work trying to be like, guys, you know that was me, right? And they were like, yeah, we know. Because, like I was saying before, Brittany was not slick about any of this. So we get to the eviction episode. We get a jury segment, and Alyssa gets there and tells everybody that Taylor spent several nights in Monty's HOH room, and like everyone knew what that meant, especially Joseph. Poor guy. I mean, he looked really hurt by it, and just I don't know. It was really kind of slimy the way Alyssa just kind of tried to sell Taylor out like that. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised. Alyssa labs everything. Alyssa blabbing everything helped found the leftovers. But yeah, it was just like she seems to want like she said she wants to see a woman win, but my God, my dad's phone is blowing up. I've heard his text alert thing like like 30 times in the last hour. He's asleep. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, um, just hearing Alyssa say that she wants a woman to win and then just selling Taylor like this, giving this information out, like it's not going to be a good look for her, and it could cost her Joseph's vote. And it's just like it. It felt dirty. A lot of people were not happy about it, and I'm not either. So yeah, did not did not love that. We get to the eviction. Monty votes out Brittany, surprising no one. So we have our final three: Taylor, Monty, Turner. Now, as always, the way the final HOH works, all three compete in part one. The winner automatically goes to part three. The losers of part one compete in part two. The winner of that moves on to part three. And the person who lost part one and part two, out of the running, they don't get to be the final HOH. Turner ended up winning part one of the HOH. And we got a quick glimpse of it at the end of the Friday recap episode. These these giant hot dogs that they have to hold on to on these platforms that are vibrating back and forth. Just it's it's just like a mechanical bowl, but it's a mechanical vertical hot dog because why not? So was rocking them back and forth, and Turner won that, but he goes on to talk to Taylor, and he admits he has no chance of winning. He's aware that his jury management has been very bad. I mean, not in a million years was he getting Jasmine. He blew his chance of getting Alyssa because he promised her safety all through her final week and then voted her out. And now Alyssa's mad at him. Indy doesn't really seem to care for him. Treated Joseph like crap during Direfest. Yeah, I think just against Monty or Taylor. Yeah, Turner probably has a tricky path to $750,000. So he's saying this, and Taylor says everyone except Brittany loves Monty. And I see what you're doing here, Taylor. You're trying to plant those seeds, try and convince Turner to take out Monty instead of you. should he win the final HOH. That's smart. That's what you're supposed to do. So I'm just sitting here hoping, please let Taylor win part two of this HOH. Because if she doesn't win either of them, then that will definitely make it a little more difficult for her to win in the end. And sure enough, Monty wins part two. So it's Turner versus Monty for the final HOH. And I'll be honest, I was starting to get really worried for Taylor at this point because, like, I still believe that Turner will take Monty to the end just because he has a final two of them. He can't beat either of them, so you might as well just be loyal to him. And like I said, I don't trust Monty anymore, so maybe he'll take Taylor, maybe he won't. But I'm worried. And Taylor is saying that she doesn't think she can win now since she lost both part one and part two of the final HOH. And she feels like she didn't want to be carried to the end. So if she does make it to the final two, it's because Monty or Turner brought her there. And that isn't what she wanted. She wanted to earn her way there. So yeah, I can imagine. I understand how she feels, but I'm still trying to believe there's a chance for her if she does make it to the end. I mean, I was saying before that if it was her against Monty, I was thinking it'd be pretty close. But I don't know. I think if it's her versus Monty now, I think Monty has a better chance of taking it, taking the whole thing, just because she didn't win either of the final two parts. But to me, that's like, you know, that wouldn't really be a factor to me per se, because it's like she has won competitions. She won two competitions. One of them was the wall. So I'm still trying to believe that she she would have a chance if she were there. And I do still think she would beat Turner just because Turner made too many enemies in the jury house. So I didn't even watch the recap episode when it initially aired. I just watched it tonight. Now, typically when they do this, it's usually just like recapping the season, showing us some stuff that they didn't show. And I was just like, oh God, why are they showing us all these people again? Like, we got to see more of Jasmine being waited on hand and foot while she was injured. We got to see more of Alyssa being bad at geography. She didn't know the capital of Florida, and she's from Florida. That's that's mind numbing to me. And we get to revisit after Nicole's eviction. Smelvis's I don't even know what to call this. Like I can't call it a fight or even an argument because like they weren't yelling and Smelvis was even saying like, "Yeah, I get it. I respect the move. It's just like you're not going to get away with this." It's like, what are you even saying? Like it was just reliving him being a punk. It's like we all saw this already. We don't need to see it again. We don't want to hear from this man ever again for the rest of our lives. Like nobody likes him. He hasn't even tried to like earn any sort of forgiveness. He's preferring to just stay in the villain role just to stay relevant. And it's working because I still see people talking about him, retweeting him, sharing clips. It's like, let this man go broke and be forgotten. I mean, they needed filler. Like, they needed to pad out the hour this while that because it was framed as like the final three just having dinner talking about the season. But yeah, I did not enjoy seeing him again. The only parts of the episode I enjoyed were us getting to see more of the um, discussions that they had with Kyle after his comments came out, like his final days in the house, and he really was trying to like, because he really was trying to listen and learn and grow. So like that was like I appreciated them showing more of that, like especially Taylor, of course. I loved hearing her comments. It was also Terrence talking to him as well, and it's like the thing with Terrence is it's like these words make sense. What you're saying makes sense. It's just that you have said so many terrible things yourself. Like he's talking about colorism, and yet he himself has been colorist towards Taylor. It's like, dude, the calls are coming from inside the house. It's just like Terrence is talking about these issues when he himself is guilty of them in some fashion. Like not obviously not in the same way Kyle was, but like he has his own version of guilt in this. And the only other part that I really enjoyed, that really made me laugh, was they were talking about like what happens if somebody dies in the Big Brother house, and Taylor, for whatever reason, gave this imaginary house guest the name Peter. She's like, everyone's everyone's just starting to get up for the morning, and Peter's not getting out of bed, so we're all just like, Peter, Peter, why won't you get up? And it's like they call Peter, please go to the diary room, but he won't get up, and everyone's like, no, Peter's dead. Like, I don't, I don't know what this all was about. I don't remember hearing about this at all during the game at any point, but it was really funny. And then just like, then they asked like, will they gray out his picture? And then they just show a picture of a random guy, a guy that was not on this show, someone I didn't recognize, and I literally just went on Twitter and asked, who was this? But they just have a picture on the memory wall of some random guy, and they gray it out like they do for every evicted house guest. I'm just like, who is this guy that they used as Peter? That's what I want to know. I mean, I'm guessing he's probably someone in production. Like I thought I saw something about maybe he's the guy who does the voice, like the announcer, like previously on Big Brother. Like I saw a couple of comments saying it was that guy, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, that was strange. And the last update I have is Turner talking to Monty, and Turner's like, "I'm bringing you to the end, Monty," and I'm just like, "We know." But Monty's just kind of giving him very vague assurances. He's not like saying for sure, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely bringing you to the end." So there's still a chance that if Monty were to win the final HOH, that he would bring Taylor. So I mean, I'm rooting for Monty to win the final HOH over Turner. Just not because I like him or anything, but it's because it's Taylor's best shot of making it to the final two. Turner wins final HOH. It's over for her. 100%. But Taylor's karma will strike fast because he will lose to Monty. And that is the part I want to talk about now. I want to run through the scenarios and like break down how I think the jury's going to go for each person. I will laugh so hard if Monty brings Taylor to the end and then she ends up winning over him. Yeah, that'd be amazing. So yeah, we got three possible outcomes, three possible combinations of final two. So let's go through them. Let's start with what I think is the most likely one: Monty versus Turner. I believe Taylor will vote for Monty. I believe Brittany will vote for. hmm, Honestly, she doesn't like either of them that much. I think it could really go either way, but I'm leaning towards Monty. Alyssa's still pretty mad at Turner, but Monty was the one who sent her out. Like it was his HOH where she left. So you know what? I think Alyssa will vote for Turner. Michael, hmm, he could go either way too. Now that I think about it, just like Brittany. But you know what? I think him and Brittany are a package deal. So I think Monty, Terrence, Monty, Kyle, Turner, Joseph. Now he could possibly be mad at at Monty for taking for getting with Taylor, and he could also be mad at Taylor for getting with Monty. So there's a possibility that Joseph could vote for Turner for that reason. But I think uh, I think Joseph is a little more mature than that. I think he will vote for who played the best game, and I think he will probably vote for Monty. So that's five right there. And Jasmine is never voting for Turner under any circumstances. And I think Indy also votes for Monty. So I think Monty beats Turner 7-2. Alyssa and Kyle as the only two for Turner. Now let's go to the next most likely outcome, Monty versus Taylor, which I also think is the toughest outcome to predict. So let's go through it. Turner, I think, would vote for Monty. Brittany would vote for Taylor. Alyssa, I think Alyssa would probably just want to see a woman win, and then also again, Monty was the HOH that took her out, so I think Alyssa votes for Taylor. Um, Michael, Michael knows the struggle Taylor went through. He saw it sooner than most. He saw how hard she was struggling, and he gravitated to her for that reason. And I think he will respect that she was able to be as low as she was and then make it to the final two. So I think that's three right there for Taylor. Terrence definitely votes for Monty because there's no way he's going to vote for Taylor to win under any circumstances. Kyle, I think, votes for Monty as well. So that's where we're at so far 3-3. Joseph, I think, I mean, the thing is, if it's Monty versus Taylor in the final two, even if Joseph is hurt by them, then he still has to pick one of them to win. I think I think his, oh God, he was really close to Taylor, but he had a straight up final two with Monty. This might be a hot take, but I think Monty versus Taylor. Joseph votes for Monty. Yeah. And Jasmine, I think, also votes for Monty. That's five right there. And Indy, I think, votes for Taylor. So 5-4 split. 5-4 split in Monty's favor. Yeah. Okay, I will not fault Joseph if it is Monty versus Taylor and he does decide to vote for Monty. Like, I get it. Monty played on paper a good game. But you know, I'll never respect this. And I think in the long run, probably Joseph won't either. But yeah, I could see Joseph voting for Monty tomorrow. But I think he's probably the most of a swing vote. So uh, let's get to the last possible combination: Taylor versus Turner. The least likely. It'll only happen if Turner decides to go back on his word to Monty, which I think is unlikely. But let's go through it. Monty, I think Monty will go for Turner still. I think he'd respect the move because Turner's a man. That's why he'd respect it. He would vote against Taylor if she made this move, but I don't think he would vote against Turner for making this move because that's the kind of guy he is. And also, he'll just be like, I'm worried that if I give Taylor this money, it's going to go to some kind of a female cause, and I don't want females getting money. That's my Monty impression. How was it? Was it any good? But yeah, anyway, that's Monty voting for Turner in a Turner versus Taylor final two. Brittany votes for Taylor, 100%. Alyssa, I think, votes for. I don't remember which hand I used for Monty and for Turner, which one's for Taylor. But uh, I think Alyssa votes for Taylor. Michael votes for Taylor. Good impression, rather accurate of Monty, lol. Thank you. Um, Terrence votes for Turner. Kyle votes for Turner. Kyle and Terrence are going to let everybody down with their votes. I just want y'all to know that. I mean, unless it's Monty versus Turner, in which case there's really no way to let us down because no one really wants either of them to win anyway. Um, Taylor versus Turner. I think Turner was not good to Joseph during Dire Fest, so I think Joseph votes for Taylor. Jasmine not voting for Turner in a million years, like I said. That's five right there for Taylor. And also Indy, I think, votes for Taylor over Turner as well. So I think Taylor beats Turner 6-3. So yeah, that is where we are at. I'm gonna check the internet to see if there's any last minute gameplay worth mentioning. You'd think there wouldn't be, but lest we forget that last year, final week, when it was Xavier versus Ozza for the final HOH, and Derek F is just treating Ozza like crap, and she gets it to the point where, I mean, he gets gets her to the point where she decides that if she wins the final HOH, she's going to take Derek F out because she doesn't think he even deserves the second place prize money. She knows that she would lose to Xavier. Like beating, like if it was her versus Derek F, she would have won handily. But she was willing to sacrifice that because she did not respect the way Derek F was talking to her. And Derek F just like single handedly played the worst Final Three game of anybody ever. But Xavier won the final HOH and took out Ozza anyway. Because I guess Xavier decided I'd rather win 9-0 than 8-1. Well, I found a cat from BB21 saying, "I just can't get behind. I just can't get behind a Monty win, y'all. I'm sorry, but the man was so boring this season." You're not wrong, cat. Don't get me wrong. He was consistent at the game, and that's great and all. But when you break it down, what really did he do? And before y'all get smart with me, obviously I acknowledge that he played a better game than me. But I got 10th place, so it's not like my game was that hard to beat. LMAO. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, yeah, okay, I will say Monty played a better game than Cat did, but that doesn't mean he's played an especially good game. Like, okay, I heard a lot last year about how Xavier was kind of a boring winner, and I I get it, but he was better than Monty. And Xavier, he also said some eyebrow raising things last season. I'm not going to pretend he didn't, but he definitely didn't show quite the level of disrespect that Monty has. Like, Monty got mad at specific individual people. Like he got pretty mad at Tiffany at certain points. But like I feel like it was just a place of he's mad at Tiffany more than he's a sexist. And Xavier has owned up to it and admitted, like, I didn't act right. I admit that. So I don't think Xavier is perfect, but he's better than Monty. And, like Xavier played a respectable enough game that he deserves to win. And once he got to the Final Four, he won out. Final Four HOH, Final Four veto, and the final HOH. So yeah. All right, let's see if there's anything else. I don't see any Derek F level bad gameplay from these three. I think they're all smarter than he was. Oh yeah, this was pretty enjoyable. Big Brother Daily, they uh they put out three separate tweets saying retweet if you want Monty to win, Taylor to win, Turner to win. So Monty's has 108 retweets. 108 people want Monty to win. Turner, 295 retweets. Taylor, at this moment, 5,002 retweets. Nope, 5,004. So, yeah. Let me tell you something. I've been putting in my work, getting getting my votes in for Taylor for AFP. I I will be so heartbroken if she doesn't win America's favorite because like I'm already really coming to terms with like the odds of her winning this game, I think, are right now pretty low. Like, I'm gonna give her. This might even be generous. I'm gonna give her a 10% chance of winning. 85% chance of Monty winning. 5% chance of Turner. You know what? No, scratch that. 89% chance of Monty winning. 10% Taylor. 1% Turner. You know what? Even that 1% for Turner might be generous. I don't know. She's come this far. I'm not ruling her out yet. No, me neither. I mean, no matter what, she she beat the naysayers. She was mocked for wearing her finale outfit on day three. They're like, "Oh yeah, well you're never gonna make it there now," and she's made it there. She's gonna be at the finale. So stay mad, everybody. It's like their hatred manifested this. But yeah, I just think that her chances of winning America's favorite are better than winning the game. And I hope that um, there aren't too many people that are trying to go a different way. Because I've seen a lot of people saying Joseph for America's favorite, Michael for America's favorite, Kyle for America's favorite. Yeah, there is a sizable movement to give Kyle America's favorite. There was like a little part of me that was trying to be like, maybe, possibly, it's because they want to acknowledge that he has learned from his mistakes, but no, it's not that at all. It's he got canceled. Like he was taken out for non-game reasons. I'm like, he brought non-game reasons into his gameplay, and it blew up in his face. I'm sorry if Kyle wins America's favorite. It's like if he's even in the top three, I'm gonna be mad, or top two, whatever they do this year. Yeah, exactly. I'll be so mad too, Scarlett. Also, I guess some people want Turner to win America's favorite. And, you know, it'd be better than Kyle, but I'm not exactly rooting for it. I do hope they go back to a top three for America's favorite. I like that more. Mostly because I just like thinking, you know, who was second and who was third. Like the last time they did a top three was BB21. Nicole won. Cliff and Tommy were number two and number three. And honestly, before Tommy's final week, I think Cliff was probably a lock for second. But like Tommy got to the top three because people felt bad for him in his final week. I didn't, but some people did. And Cliff in his final week just played like a complete idiot. So I think it's possible Tommy was second and Cliff was third the year before that. Tyler won America's favorite. Haley and Brett were two and three. I'd be very surprised if Haley was not number two. A lot of people wanted her to be number one, so I think Haley was probably second and Brett was third. And I admit Brett kind of won me over with his sense of humor, but just after the show, he's become unbearable. Turner brought us Muffin Gate, so he's AFP worthy, possibly. You know, there was a time when I would have been okay with him being up there. Like, he was number one on the daily polls at some point. But then just like with Dire Fest and then his HOH when he put up Taylor and Brittany and just made them feel like crap when he did so. Like that at that point it's just like, no. You're you can you can drop a couple notches for me. But yeah, I think that's about it. We've made it to the end. It is day 81 for them, 82 here. It'll be day 82 for them tomorrow, the finale. And the last couple seasons they've been making it slightly shorter, and people are still complaining, "Oh, it's going on too long." It's like it'll never be short enough for some people. Although I will admit, the they did kind of drag out the week with with when there were four of them, just because they didn't do a Wednesday episode, so they had to get it all out in time for Sunday's episode, like the nomination ceremony and the veto competition. So they had to get that out of the way. And then there was just several days of nothing. So yeah, you know what I miss? I miss them doing surprise eviction episodes. Like they do it out of nowhere on like Tuesday night. I always enjoyed those. Like, oh, watching BB17 last year for the first time when they did the surprise eviction episode when there were five people left. And Austin got so blindsided he left without his shoes on. I mean, that is one of my favorite things I have ever witnessed in Big Brother. That was just so great. Yes. Yeah, Scarlett, if you're ever gonna watch a Big Brother season, watch BB17. It is so great. It's so underrated. Like when I hear people talk about the best Big Brother seasons, BB17 hardly ever comes up, and I'm like, why? It is so good. This season, BB24, it has had some pretty great moments, and of course some pretty horrendous moments. But it's like the horrendous moments made the great moments better. And I was thinking like if Taylor wins this season, then it might be worth rewatching. If she doesn't win, then I don't know. Probably not. At least I'd have to wait a couple years. I've never rewatched a Big Brother season, so uh, yeah. I just I'm still rooting for Taylor to win, no matter what. Like if she's in the final two, I want her to win. I don't care that she lost both parts of the final HOH, well, the first two parts of the final HOH. I don't care. I still want her to win because going from 15 against one to the final three or the final two, like if she's already gone from 15 against one to the final three. If she goes from 15 against one to the final two, just the social game she played to get herself to this point, that's worth a win to me. If I was on the jury and I saw that story, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm definitely voting for this phoenix that rose from the ashes. So yes, if Taylor is in the final two, I'm rooting for her. If she's not, then I don't even think I'm going to bother rooting for either of them because it's like A, I don't care because this is a very boring final two, and B, I know Monty's going to win. Monty beats Turner at least 7-2. 7-2 is my prediction, but you never know. Could be more. But yeah, that is my official prediction. It'll be a Monty versus Turner final two. Monty will win 7-2. But at least I'll win my draft that I did with my dad and my brother. I already have because I have both Monty and Taylor on my draft team, and none of us took Turner. Turner was left out. I'm sure there probably would have been a debate. Well, I mean there could be a debate if Turner wins. Like you didn't win the draft because you didn't pick the winner. I'm like, well, I picked second and third. Huh? How about that? How you like me now? But yeah, I don't see Turner winning. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. That's my prediction. Turner versus Monty. Monty wins, and I will definitely do a postseason review thing. If somehow Taylor wins, I will be back tomorrow night, probably still in tears. Oh my god, it'll it'll be so great. It'll be like the Miracle on Ice, the Big Brother equivalent of the Miracle on Ice. If Taylor manages to win this thing. So yes, that will do it for this stream. Thank you, Scarlett, for watching. Um, if I'm not back tomorrow night, I'll be back in a couple days doing like a recap. Like I'll rate everybody who was on the show, give them some kind of score, I guess. And also something I have been really excited about. When this season ends, I am going to do a Twitter thread comparing each of this season's house guests to a Pokemon. I have the memo in my phone already about who's who. And to be clear, only first generation Pokemon because that's as far as I got. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope that it doesn't just flop on Twitter. Like when I compared everybody last year to Red Dead Redemption 2 characters, well, specifically members of Dutch's gang. Although, to be fair, I did that one before the season ended, and like I did it pretty early in the season, and like a lot of things I said later turned out to be super wrong. I'm like, oh god, no, I was completely wrong about this person. I'm glad you think that sounds amazing, Scarlett. Okay, that'll do it for me. It is after 1 a.m. I am tired. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace out.